Hey, hi Charles. This is my third video. It's probably the last one I'm going to do, but I'm holding a fuel valve out of one of my other cars. This is what controls your fuel coming out of your tank. It screws up this part right here, attaches to threads on the bottom of the tank, and it screws up in. And these big tubes stick up out of it. They go up into the tank. Now the long one goes clear to the top of the tank, and that's the air inlet. To get some air, so the fuel will drain. There's two more. The shortest one is the reserve tank. That'll draw fuel out of the bottom of the tank when it's almost empty. There's no gas gauge on these cars, so this is sort of a motorcycle system. The middle length tube is a normal one you run on. That goes up in the tank, and that'll pick up fuel. 6 gallons in the tank, but that'll pick up fuel, about 5 gallons of it. Now when it gets down to 5 gallons, you run out. So you turn this valve, and it draw fuel out of this bottom one, the reserve. Then you got to go get gas, because that's how the system works. Now these are notorious for leaking. There's a glass bowl on the bottom. It's the fuel filter, so you can see it in there, how the fuel filter is dirty. But this valve, see if I can switch hands here. There's a cable coming from up where you drive that hooks into this. It's kind of like a little choke cable. In the middle, when the handle up in the driver's compartment is in the middle, the valve will look like this. The gas is shut off. You always shut it off when you're not driving it. When you put it in the normal position of the handle, it pushes the valve over to the right. That's normal. That'll use this tube here and draws in up to 5 gallons. Now when it gets down to the 1 gallon, this won't pick up gas anymore, so you'll run out. So what you do is you flip the lever up in the front, it puts the valve clear over like that, and that's drawing out this little bitty short one. That'll draw down all the gas in the tank. So that's reserve tank. When you're running on that, you better head for the gas station. But the cars go a long ways on the gas. I mean, they get 60 miles a gallon. So anyway, the normal position would be like this in the middle, okay? Now, there's a cork gasket back in here that's prone to leakage. Okay, now that's one of my other cars. I just wanted to explain it. Now let's go look in the car you're buying. Here's the fuel valve installed in the bottom of the tank. Okay, see it's in the middle position. That's off. Okay, now the cable that runs from the front hooks in a little bracket. The cable is right here. See this tube? There's a cable that runs clear up to the passenger compartment, and there's a cable in there that goes back and forth. Okay, that attaches right up here. Now you see it's not hooked on right now. Okay, there's a reason for that. About a week ago, I rebuilt this thing. It was leaking. There's a lot of things this car's been setting for a long time, and those gaskets right, but this was leaking. I took it all apart. There's new cork inside here. And put it on the car, put it in the all positions, no leaks, so I'm in good shape. Now if it goes over to the right, far right as you can push it, that's normal running position. That'll use 5 gallons up. Now if you go clear to the left, that's for your reserve tank. That's the little short tube. That will use the gas out of the tank. Okay, so she's not leaking. Now I rebuilt the thing, got it on. No leaks, working perfect. I attached the cable on, which is back here. I pointed out that. It attaches right here and then hooks up here. I attached the cable on, and when I operated it from the front of the car, the cable working it kind of moved this little gasket around a little bit wrong way, and it leaked. So that's not going to work. But actually what the thing is, I've rebuilt a bunch of these. With the new gasket in there, it's working real tight. The thing is, working, it's not leaking, but it's a tight fit. When you start pushing this tube and you're working it, it kind of moves this gasket and all the mechanism in there in kind of an unnatural way, and then it leaks. So until this has been moved back and forth a while, I'd just leave the cable unhooked, because with the cable on it, it's not working right. So I'm just working it manually by just reaching back here with your fingers and pushing it over to the right for normal. Leave it off when you're not running the car. To the left for reserve tank. It all works good, but it's not as handy when you have to come back to the engine and do that. But this new gasket is not wanting to seal with the cable hooked on it. So almost everybody that's got these 600s cusses these fuel valves. They're a booger, but every car I've had to rebuild them, and I've owned my share of these. So I just wanted to point that out to you. The fuel valve seals works good, but the cable part isn't working like it should. But it's all right there. After this has been worked back and forth a few times, well, probably more than a few times, but I think that gasket will kind of seat in, and it's just cork. It'll seat in, and then the cable can be hooked on, and it'll be controlled from up front. So that's my story on the fuel valve. Okay, again, email me or call me if you have any questions about that. But the fuel valve works, but the remote cable attach isn't working like it should right now. All right, that's the end of this video.